Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking about something on the podcast that I don't really think I've talked about here before. Or if I have, it's been quite a while, and that is weight loss, specifically fat loss, because I am finally at a point that I am going to be taking some very intentional steps, intention, and direction towards trying to lose weight, lose weight, specifically fat loss. The reason that this is coming up right now is because Cade is having his first birthday this week. Um, we are in the process of slowly weaning from breastfeeding, which means my hormones are again going to be fluctuating, but then hopefully getting leveled out. And, I can take some more intentional steps toward weight loss without worrying about my milk supply. Um, and also just having I love breastfeeding, but the mental load and the responsibility of breastfeeding lifted from my shoulders, giving me a little more capacity to take this on and be a little more diligent with myself about it. If you've been hanging out with me for a while, especially over on Instagram, you might recall that after Cade was born, a couple months probably while I was postpartum, I started sharing a little bit about my postpartum journey and the weight loss that was associated with that. And I did that because I think there's so much talk about the bounce back from pregnancy. Have you hit your pre-pregnancy weight yet? Have you lost the baby weight? Um, and I think that that is a journey that looks very different for everyone. And I wanted to bring some normalcy to the fact that for some people, that is a very lengthy journey. For me specifically, I have now had three back to back pregnancies and 1 year plus or give a couple months of breastfeeding. And none of the three times have I gotten back to my pre first baby weight, so like my 2019 weight, before I've gotten pregnant again. And there hasn't been a huge difference there. But a few pounds this time adds up, a few pounds next time adds up. And now we're, at the highest, like consistent non-pregnancy weight that I've ever been at. And I've been okay with that over the past year. I knew going into this pregnancy that that was likely going to happen again. Also, I'm another year older, things are not speeding up as I get older. And I was okay with it. I knew that I was going to reach a point that I could fully feel like I like reclaimed my body for myself again and had more time and capacity to focus on my appearance, on my weight, on my physique. And it just gave me comfort to know that that was something I could tackle in the future, that I didn't have to do it right now. And I could let go of this pressure of trying to get back to my pre pregnancy weight, and just like focus that, give my energy to that. And that time is now, I feel like, and not now in the sense of like, I feel like, um, I've got to get this it's 15 to 20-ish pounds that I would like to lose. And I don't feel this pressure to do it right now, immediately, right away, by any means. I'm in no hurry, to be honest with you, and I'll cover that in a second. But I feel like now is the time that once I get Cade weaned fully, I don't have any other reasons. Like right now, because I was breastfeeding, I couldn't do some of the things that I wanted to do to help support me in my journey to fat loss. Like some of it's supplement things, some of it's cutting back on carbs. I was always worried about, if I made cuts, then would my supply drop? Would I feel worse even if my supply didn't drop? And like that has been two very big priorities for me in this postpartum period. Number one, maintaining my milk supply, and number two, feeling really good in my body because I have four kids total, and that is very energy demanding, Um, so I've been able to prioritize those things, and now things are moving and shifting, and I can make this a little more of a priority. We're definitely not going to say that this is my top priority because it's not. But as I said, I have between 15 to 20-ish pounds I would like to lose. I am not chasing a number on the scale per se. I just know that that's the range that I was in when I, reflecting on my life in the past, feel like I was at my healthiest and like size wise with like clothing, and just like looking in the mirror the way my body looked. That's kind of what I would like to work towards, and maybe even improve upon it body composition wise. Building more muscle is something that I would like to do to just bring more tone to my body overall. And it's not something I feel like I've had in a lot of years. We'll just leave it at that. So, um, the way that I'm going to be approaching this is with a heavy focus on metabolism. And thank goodness, I already do a lot of things that support a healthy metabolism. I'm just at a point where I can like kick it up a notch. Like I can take the extra steps. I can do the extra things now. And there's a trickle down effect. When you support your metabolism, you're also supporting your hormones, your cortisol. Your thyroid is kind of the controller of your metabolism. So your thyroid. A big thing for me right now is blood sugar control. You guys will probably remember that with my last two pregnancies, I have been borderline gestational diabetes diagnosed. Like I've monitored my blood sugars the last half of Hollis's and Cade's pregnancies. And then even years ago, before then, I had to have some fasting glucose, like 5 hour studies, similar to what you do when you're pregnant, but it was not for a pregnancy related reason. And it was a 5 hour test. And even back then, when I got those results back, it showed that I was like at risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And since then, I've been very intentional with watching, my hemoglobin A1C. When I learned more about functional medicine and taking a optimal approach to labs, I started requesting every year to get my fasting insulin checked, not just my fasting glucose. And I've been very mindful of those things. And to be honest with you guys, a couple weeks ago, I went and got my yearly labs done, and my hemoglobin A1C is the highest it's ever been. And I'm really bothered about it. It's very frustrating for me because I already do so many things that I know, like I take the extra step to try to be conscious of my blood sugar and take care of myself in ways that other people, like, they don't even know about and they don't even care about. And their hemoglobin A1C is probably better than mine. And that's very frustrating. And parts of that I fully believe right now are hormone related because I'm still breastfeeding and because my body has been through so much with 3 back-to-back pregnancy and breastfeeding journeys. I fully believe that. I am also digging in with some additional labs to make sure there's nothing autoimmune going on or just like nothing deeper that we're missing as far as a reason as to why that's happening, since I do already take so much like intention trying to have steady blood sugars. But I'll be honest too, like I also have to take a step back and be very realistic and honest with myself with where I fall short in doing the right thing when I know what I'm supposed to do. And I have a sweet tooth, okay? I love sweets. And I don't overindulge in them, I don't feel like, but maybe that's the way I want to see it. So I'm having to look at those choices and how often am I indulging, and when I'm indulging, what am I doing outside of that to support blood sugar. So that is metabolism and blood sugar support right now are the two main focuses. And then from that, I want to lose the weight. I have this range of weight that I would like to lose, but I'm not attached to the timing of it. I'm not in a hurry for it, and I'm not going to be making myself miserable or sacrificing my hormones in the process. I actually have 5 kind of like rules that things I'm not doing to achieve this weight loss. So I'm going to run through those 5 things really quickly. Number 1 is tracking every single calorie I put in my body. Number 2, giving up my favorite foods. Number 3, working out 7 days a week. Number 4, cutting out carbs completely. And number 5, sacrificing my hormones. I already said that one, but that's the 5th one. I am not doing any of those things. I am going to take a holistic approach to this fat loss. That way, it is sustainable and realistic for me. And to be honest with you, I don't really care how long it takes. I know this is going to be a journey. I don't expect it to happen overnight. I don't expect it to happen in the next month. Honestly, I don't expect it to happen in the next 2 to 3 months. Like, I know it's going to be a while. I have honestly no idea how long this might take. And I'm okay with that because I'm also not doing it for like a vanity. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm looking for, but like I'm not doing it for a vanity reason. It's not just about the number on the scale that I weigh or saying that I wear a certain size or I don't know, comparatively looking at myself versus someone else, like, and feeling that I look as good as they do or better than they do. It's not about any of that. Like, the main driver is so that I am healthy and I feel good. And I'm healthy for 80-year-old Vanda and 100-year-old Vanda, not just right now Vanda. And I started sharing and talking more about this with people in my real life. And then I started talking a little bit about it on my Instagram with my community of all of you guys. And I got a lot of feedback and a lot of curiosity and a lot of just conversations starting saying, like, yeah, I'm in the same boat that you are. I really want to work on this, but I don't want to be miserable in the process. I don't want to give up a bunch of things or make a bunch of rules for myself that I have to try to follow and then feel like I'm failing when I slip up. Just, I think that as kind of like a generation or a society, we're over the very restrictive diets, the 1,200 calories, the Weight Watchers, the points, the cutting out this or that, no carbs. I think we're kind of over it. I think there's a big desire, I know it from talking to you guys, there's a big desire to be able to balance both, balance eating like a normal person who doesn't have to think about their food all the time, but also at the same time, be making healthy decisions and seeing the weight loss as a result. And I already work on this with the clients that I work with. I have never marketed a weight loss specific program before. I have always talked about hormones and energy, and that has been my focus. But nearly every client that I work with has a goal also to change their body and lose some weight because I work with women. And let's be honest, weight loss is a common goal for a woman to have. And I have been successful in coaching clients to lose weight and see that weight loss and get to a place that they are also comfortable with the weight loss taking time and not being something that they see instantly. And I'm bringing all of those principles and these lessons to a program. I'm calling it the Metabolic Reset. I am going to be going through it and coaching myself through it right along a group of women. And I'm very excited. I'm kind of partially selfishly putting this group together to hold myself accountable. I have a mentor, a good friend, and she always says that you teach what you need. And that is absolutely the case right now with this program that I'm putting together. And it has really kind of lit a fire in me. That or like a spark that I've been missing for a while. I love the work that I do with clients on their periods and fertility, and honestly, it's a lot of the same work, but I also got to get like really creative when I have been brain dumping and planning out this program and what I want to bring to it and how I want to show up and how I want the participants to feel and be supported and what all I wanted to include. I got to put that creativity hat on. And if you're into human design, I'm a generator. So I love to create things anyway. And this has just been really fun for me to put together. And I've used feedback from women that were interested right away when I first started talking about it, that were like, yes, I want to do this too. Please tell me more. Please include me when you do this. Send me the link right away. I want to sign up. Um, I used all that feedback plus knowing like what I'm going to need and what would be helpful for me while I'm on the journey trying to lose weight, and rolling that all into a program. And it's going to run for 8 weeks. It's going to be in a private Telegram group. If you're not familiar with Telegram, it's a messaging app that you can put on your phone. It's free to use. And I love it because it keeps everything all in one place. That's super easy to access. And it also keeps things very organized and succinct. It's not like this just massive weird group text that you're a part of, and that if you don't get in there for a couple days, you're just like totally lost. Um, so I decided to use that for the group. I also decided to make labs optional. I think that labs are going to be super helpful for anyone that's on this journey to help like customize it. However, it's not required. We're really going to focus on the foundations and supporting metabolism, and you can do that with or without labs. I'm going to put together a generalized supplement guide that then people that do opt into the testing can get more personalized supplement, recommendations. But there's going to be a supplement guide for everyone to take advantage of. There's going to be recipes. We're going to really dig in the first week into like the lessons that are most important for me to teach. And then week by week after that, we're going to hone in on one specific topic or habit and really like refine it and get it down pat. And then each week, these are just kind of going to build on one another until we get to the end, and where we're putting it all together and doing it in a way that's sustainable, because that was a huge goal of mine for myself and for you guys that are going to join me while we're doing this, is to do this in a way that does not feel overwhelming, that doesn't cause you to be like, well, I've got to throw away everything in my house because I cannot eat any of this anymore. I've got to go spend $400 at the grocery store to buy all new food because I had the wrong stuff. I don't want it to feel overwhelming. I don't want the habits that I'm teaching to feel like one more thing that has to go on to your to-do list every day. I want to teach you how to integrate these things into your life easily, given the like lifestyle and plan that you already have, all the things that you already have going on. I don't want this to feel like a burden. I want this to feel like a really nice way that you get to take care of yourself and set a good example for your family, for your kids, for your husband, for whoever it is that's important to you. So, we're going to start together. The group's going to start on August 18th, which is next Monday, if you're listening to this in real time. I have a very special early bird pricing offer for the first 5 people that join. It's just going to be $97. At the time that I'm sitting down to record this, which is the night before it's going to go live, which is not my normal, but anyway, 2 people have requested that booking link, but they have not followed through on it just yet. That might change by morning, but as of the time I'm recording this, there's, spots left to get in on the early bird pricing. When those 5 spots are gone, the price is going to go up just a little bit, but it's still going to be super affordable. And then the labs, of course, are going to be optional add-ons, which does add to the overall cost. But again, you don't have to do that part. It's totally optional. And I've never offered a program that way before. I've ran it without labs, or I've ran it with the labs, and the pricing was just set. And I'm really excited to bring that forward this time as an option. And I'm thinking about ways that I can kind of implement that with other, programs that I have and other packages. Anyway, so if you would like to get in on this, then I would love to have you. I'd love to have you in the group, help hold you accountable. You can help hold me accountable. We're going to learn a lot together. We're going to have a fun 8 weeks together. We're not going to get overwhelmed. We're not going to beat ourselves up. We're going to celebrate progress as we go, and it's going to be a good time. So if you are interested in joining that, the best thing to do right now is to either email me or DM me on Instagram to get the link for the early bird pricing. Now, after that, there will probably be a link in emails, in my Instagram stories, where you can just go and check out and sign up. But if you have any questions, reach out to me. If you're brand new to my world, and maybe this is your first podcast episode that you're listening to, hi, hello, welcome. I have some free resources linked for you in the show notes always. There is a hormone reboot, there is a minerals guide, and a Hormones 101 podcast, and they're all free. They're all incredible. Please go sign up for one, or, maybe, maybe all three of them if you want to. I suggest, if you're just starting out and you're brand new to me and you have hormone concerns, honestly, if you have metabolism concerns, I would start with the hormone reboot. That's my favorite one. I just recently revamped it and updated it, and it's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So sign up for that one, get started. If you guys are listening and you haven't already, please subscribe to the show, hit follow wherever you're listening to podcasts. That way you don't miss new episodes. I put out a new episode every Tuesday, good Lord willing. And I think that's all I've got for today. I'm so excited. I'll give you guys maybe an update on how things rolled out with the Metabolic Reset next week when I record, because we will have started already. So hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.